Second Harvest allows us to come here to supply the needs for the needy, the hungry here in Muncie area. And through them we do that as much as we can.
I'm Lois Rockhill, Executive Director of Second Harvest Food Bank of East Central Indiana. Well, our organization is run with about 8 full-time employees and a couple part-time, plus some work-study students and people that come in and work through other organizations.
Tim Keene, and I'm the Associate Director, and I've been working here almost 4 years. I think that we all feel that this is meaningful work, that we feel like this activity does make a difference in the lives of thousands of people. And we also find ourselves understanding that question, that if we weren't here, who would do what we do? Who would be able to bring in food at this level and get it out to the communities that we serve? And the answer is there isn't anyone else.
Well, the mission of Second Harvest Food Bank of East Central Indiana is to provide a coordinated approach to alleviating hunger in this 8-county region. Our big goal is to be sure that the most vulnerable people in this region are free from hunger. So to really bring all this food in, millions and millions of pounds of food in, and get it out, we really need a strong volunteer corps. We utilize volunteers just in about any way you can think of, but we very much depend on them. I don't think we could get the job done without them. Tailgates, when we do our tailgates, our mobile food pantry, we have to have volunteers there as well. Our tailgates occur, well, 2 every Friday, so it's once a month in every county right now. So our truck goes there, and once we get to the site, for example in Muncie it would be McCullough Park, in Anderson it would be Athletic Park, volunteers will meet us there. They may be volunteers from one of our agencies, it could be a volunteer group from a business, it could be we've sounded the alarm, hey, we need volunteers, and agencies will send people over to help with that. The volunteers actually help put the food in the vehicles. So they're all drive-through tailgates. The food's unloaded from the truck, the cars drive through. We have asked how many people are in the households, how many households in the car, and then put product in their car pertaining to that number.
It's kind of like a camaraderie here. We don't know each other as strangers, but we get to know each other casually as we do the work, and it's just a nice, friendly environment. It feels real good to help people.
Well, I think the poverty question comes back to economics. There's all sorts of symptoms that kind of filter into this picture for people that are in poverty. There are circumstances that are created for people called situational poverty. And then there's what's called generational poverty. Generational poverty is when people have grown up in poverty their whole lives. Their mom and dad were in poverty and maybe grew up in poverty their whole life. So they really don't know any different lifestyle other than being in need and trying to make ends meet any way they possibly can. They may be challenged in many other areas as well. They may have circumstances that have held them back educationally. They may have some health issues, and so that kind of thing tends to somewhat perpetuate itself. Then there's situational poverty, and that is people who find themselves who are really trying to figure out answers on a weekly basis that are presented with circumstances that change those plans. Their car breaks down, and so if their car breaks down, what do? Well, if they have the money, you and I would go get our car fixed. They may not have the money, so the car may have to sit for 3 weeks or a month till they do have the money. So that means now they're faced with a circumstance where they have no transportation, and maybe that eliminates them from keeping their job. Or if they do get the car fixed, then they've got other choices to make. Which bill am I not going to pay? And so it's one of those cases where the folks in situational poverty kind of bob up and down with their nose above the water line and below the water line, that put them in a circumstance of need for a period of time. It can be a short period of time, or it can be an extended period of time, depending on what those circumstances are. But once they're able to achieve self-sufficiency again, then they go along and may not need the services that are provided through the pantry system until some other circumstance pops up. Then they find themselves back in a need situation again. Now, both of those circumstances are amplified by economics, by not having a job that pays them a living wage.
Our budget for Second Harvest Food Bank to operate right now is about $1 million, and it comes from many different sources. One of the most important sources are individuals, and when you send your dollar in, 6 meals can be provided through our food that goes through pantries or goes through programs. So it's a pretty, again, value added, you know, $1, what an investment, 6 meals for people in need. Well, for more information, either on making a donation or just some facts about what we do and how we do it, check out our website, curehunger.org.